Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with my reading wrap up for May on the 1st of June because I'm unhinged, but I'm free. So hello, I hope y'all are doing well. I had a really good reading month. This was really hard to do, really hard to put together because yeah, really, it was one of those months where I was like, I don't even know. I reread a lot of favorites. I read some new favorites. And honestly, I just had a lot of fun this month. So let's, of course, as always, dive right into my stats so you can hear how much I read. I'm not going to share every single book I read. If you're curious, I post a graphic on Instagram that's pinned like in my highlights every month. And I also, you can go check my Goodreads if you're like, you really want to know every single thing. So first up, I read 17 books. We'll talk about my fic count. I read a lot this month for a total of 6,148 pages. My average rating was a 4.6 because I reread a lot of 6-star favorites. Murderbot. I read 1 through 3 or 4 in Murderbot this month. And the Firebird Chronicles, I read 2. So like that really boosted my rating here. For hours of audiobook at the speed I listen, it was 26.56 hours of audio, which feels really good. I read 7 titles from KU, 9 books from the library. As far as age demographics go, 13 things I read were adult titles and 2 were young adult titles. I read format-wise 7 ebooks and 10 audiobook. This tracks. And then as far as my fanfic reading this month, this is my second highest month since February for fic reading when I started tracking it again. My fic reading kicked back off in February, so I read about 290,000 words, probably more than that. I probably broke 300k, but quite a few fics I read this month did not have word counts, and I did not like check what their word count would have been. So 290. Yeah, I'm fine. We're thriving here, maybe. If you are curious, I do have the spreadsheet linked below with all of the fics I've been reading. I update it every day or two. I usually just like throw links in as I read stuff and then I go back and update it. So you can see real time what I'm reading if you're curious. I don't have ratings in there though, so I'm not telling you if something's good or bad. So that's kind of on you. There is a tab on there also for favorites of mine and May's. So that's another option you could check out if you, again, are curious about it. Also, if y'all want me to do a video where I talk about my fic spreadsheet and how I track it and where I'm finding my fics, we can do that. I can do like a little fic primer situation for you. We can talk about AO3, we can talk about Tumblr, all the things. Let me know in the comments what you want. Let's dive directly into my lows/DNFs, which my members are finding out right now that I DNF'd Cubs and Campfires. I'm so sad about this. Not because I wanted to love this book. Like every book I pick for my members pick, I'm hoping is like a book I really enjoy. And I really wanted to love this one, but at the end of the day, the writing was not working for me. I felt like it was kind of choppy and jumpy, and it was also super purple prose in a way that I just was not into. It also just like was really, really boring. Our hero Luca is in a fire watchtower for the summer and he's working on this article about celibacy, and he keeps not working on his article, which annoyed me immensely. And because of that, I kind of DNF'd it. I didn't mind the tension between him and the other male main character whose name I cannot remember. Altair or something like that. There was good tension there. I was intrigued there, but I also was I'm just so bored that like at about 20-ish%, I just have decided to release it into the world and say goodbye. Life is too short to read bad books. I say it all the time, and I don't practice it as much as I should, so I DNF'd it. And I hate that. I don't want like DNFing my members' picks, but we all have a discussion as a group always when a lot of us aren't liking the book or having issues per se, and this is it. And I also think I am in a very specific reading mood right now, which we'll talk about in a minute, and that definitely plays into this DNF. So let's talk about my 3 surprises this month. So first of all, we have the Alliance series by S.J. Tilly. I marathoned all 4 of these in the span of 4 days or less, 3.5 days probably. It is Nero, King, Dom, and Hans for these 4. These are ridiculous mafia series, okay? These are utterly ridiculous, over the top. These are by no means like top tier quality, but they're very readable, very enjoyable. They're that kind of thing, like I rated them like a 3.5 maybe. But you know, When you want a book that is silly and fun and marathonable, may I present the Alliance series by S.J. Tilly. Nero follows one of the members of the Alliance who is the out member as the head of the Alliance. And he ends up in this girl's apartment and she's like a little too chill about it, but then we follow them in their romance. All the heroines are vaguely curvy and gorgeous, of course, but like not fully like perceived maybe in the way they think they should be by people. So Nero, he's the out and proud boss of the Alliance mafia group. And then King is the behind the scenes businessman of the group who then ends up out. Secret spectacles here. We have some secret spectacles here, which I really did enjoy. And then you have Dom, who is the Chicago mafia head who wants to join the Alliance. And King kidnaps his wife in the book. And Dom does some repeatable behaviors. And there's some really fun dynamic between those two because he's like, you cannot judge me, sir. You cannot judge me. And that was very fun and enjoyable to read. I had a good time. I had a very good time. And then Hans is our guy that has been kind of getting targeted as the potential person doing all these crimes. And he's actually just like an assassin. And his romance is with his neighbor. And it's fun. These are all very fun, very silly. Again, I'm in very much an unhinged mood when it comes to what I want to read right now, and this scratched that itch perfectly. I am wanting those books that I can't put down, which is why I've been reading a lot of fic too, because a lot of fic I can't put down. And that's just kind of where we're at mentally this month and going into June. Honestly, it's what can I read and not stop reading? This, cool, I'm over here reading that. So here we are. Then we also have Desire in His Blood by Zoe Draven. This was a nice surprise. It's been on my TBR for a while. I picked it up and devoured it. This is alien vampires, and I thought this was a really fun enemies to lovers situation. Like he has every reason to dislike her and her family. She doesn't really know that they're enemies. It's just kind of figuring out her life with this situation. So that's been really enjoyable and fun to read and experience. Again, very, very readable, very interesting world. I felt like the setup for their like introduction to each other was fun and overall a good time. I'm very excited to read book 2 at some point. And then the other one that I also read in like one sitting is Psycho Shifters. So Psycho Shifters has a banana pants like description, but I got the audiobook from the publisher on NetGalley. It comes out later this month. It is a full cast duet narrated situation, and it's our heroine who is like 5 something, and these 6'5" shiftermen and everyone who's like doubting her because she's so small comparatively and she's endured like quite the life of trauma, ends up turning out she's also an alpha, and this is a twist on Omegaverse, so we'll see where that goes. There's been not but mentioned / seen, but beyond that I don't really know. But book 1 ended in such a cliffhanger. Again, this is like a 3.5. Book 1 ended in such a cliffhanger that I am now like ready to read book 2. So again, another situation of like, I don't know if this is like fantastic, but it ended in such a cliffhanger that I kind of gotta know what happens next. I kind of have to know. Absolutely over the top ridiculous story here. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? So do know that going in if you try this. But I had fun. And right now that is what I want. Sometimes there's something about a solid 3.5 book that is just fun that hits the spot. Everything cannot be a favorite. And that is exactly what this was for me. Desire in His Blood was like a solid 4 though. That was more of a surprise because I just was not sure what I would think. I don't think I've had read that author before. All right, we got to talk about the highs because that's really why y'all are here. Because let me tell you, 2 of these highs were long awaited. One of them is not 2 of them are not a surprise. I did exclude Murderbot from my highs because I had read 1 and 2 already, and 3 was the first one that was new to me. So just know I'm rereading Murderbot. I'm having a blast. It'll be in a weekly vlog. First of all, I read A Love Most Fatal, and this was everything I wanted it to be and more. It was so good. It was so good. I truly cannot believe how good it was. Like I can't believe it. But I also cannot believe how much it held up to the hype. Like this is a new favorite. I want more so badly. We have until September, and I will be reading that book as soon as it comes out. I promise you I will be reading that book as soon as it comes out. This was everything. Everything that I wanted and needed. She is the mob boss and he is a teacher. In fact, he teaches one of her nephews, and the nephew has been leading a revolution in the classroom without no homework, and she has to go to the student teacher meeting, and it's their romance, and it's really cute. It's really sweet. And he has to like grow into some things basically for them to be together, and it was so good. Like, it was so freaking good, y'all. So I highly recommend this one. I do think it deserves every bit of hype it's ever gotten. And even that's not enough hype at the end of the day. And if you're an audiobook person, we are getting audiobooks for it soon, so do keep that in mind. And then we have the Firebird Chronicles. So I read Age of Deception and Threshold of Annihilation. These are books 2 and 3 in this series. This is a fantastic slow burn sci-fi romance. If you like Alona Andrews, these are going to work for you really well. I feel like these are high praise as far as comparison to Alona Andrews. I don't compare many, if any, authors to them, but these books have a lot of that vibes to them, specifically more Kate Daniels, and I think you just really cannot go wrong giving these a try. You might not want to do the audiobooks. Some people don't love them. I've been audiobooking them. It's been fine for me, but I also could see myself rereading them with my eyes. So that also says a lot. These have been fantastic. There have been live shows over on Steph's channel for these every single month, and we are almost done. We have 2 more books left, and I don't want to be done. But I do think I will be trying another series by her at some point, because I'm gonna have to. T.A. White is quickly moving into a favorite author territory here, especially if this series ends well. And if I read another finished one and it ends well, like, we're set. We're golden. And last but not least, we have one that has been on my TBR for ages, and it has made its way finally into my eyeballs, and that's Demon's Dream. I read this at the beginning of the month during the 24 and 48 that May and I did, and I barely could put this down. Barely could put this down. It was so good. This was absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. If you are interested in it, it is a dark crime book situation, mafia-esque. Again, this is all what kickstarted some of my reading this month also. It is bonkers banana pants, but it also has such fun moments with their romances and the reveals and the plot. We follow 2 sets of couples. We follow Dream and Demon, and then we follow, oh no, I forgot her name, and Smoke. Diana and Smoke. And this, wow. This is a 700+ page book, and I loved every single moment of it. There wasn't really a moment where I was like, oh, are we done yet? Because it felt like we wrapped up, like towards the end, you wrap up one storyline and then you wrap up the other couple's storyline. And that worked out perfectly balancing for me. I need to figure out what else I can read by Elle Kaysen that I'm interested in. Like, I'm gonna have to go dig through her backlist, because I am sold. The writing in this was fantastic. It's so engaging and it's so interesting, but it's so different than a lot of other things I've read, but like also the same vibes. Very over the top, very much not going to work for everyone, but if you like a lot of the darker books I do think you would really enjoy Demon's Dream and wouldn't regret picking it up. So there's that. Yeah, I had such a good time. I truly feel like this month was like my mafia month in a weird way. I don't know, that's just where we ended up. And I definitely read a lot. Obviously, you have a video coming on Thursday with a lot of what I read this month also for you. So get excited for that. So yeah, that vlog project for a lot of what I read is coming up. So I'm really, really pumped for that to happen. I'd like to get that video up for y'all because I think you will enjoy seeing me read some of the things I talked about. On that note, I would love to know what you read and loved in May. If you had an all-time favorite, if you had something that really disappointed you, did you DNF it or not? Let me know in the comments. If you don't do any of that, you can leave me a sleepy emoji because I'm tired and I want to go to bed, but I wanted to get this video done. So you can do that down below. I will have links to Be My Friend Anywhere on the Internet That I Am. I'll have links for all these books for you down there. Links to Be My Friend Anywhere on the Internet I Am. And I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away, This is what we waited for.